Welcome to the starting lineup for Week 8 with Andrew Wiebe. I'm Jason Saghini. This is the first week we have double games. Sporting Kansas City and New York going at it on Wednesday night. That means the transfer deadline moves up to 7:15 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday. Make sure you get your trades in. We're going to get right to the questions, and Mark DuPont asks the first one. He says, I'm a first-time player with a dumb question. Hey, Mark, no dumb questions. Only dumb analysts.
And short hosts.
All right. He asks, guys, with 2 games in a week, do I get points for both games?
Yeah, you're going to get points for both games. That's why we've been harping on these Sporting KC and Red Bulls players for a few weeks now. You'll get all those points, and that's really going to set you apart from the rest of your league. But remember, those guys have been doing it too, so make sure you get that in line before 7:15.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Week 11 coming up a little bit down the line, 11 teams play 2 games, so that's a huge chance for you to get a lot of guys playing a lot of games, boost your points that week, and catch up if you need it. J.R. Conway asks the next question. He says, is the points penalty, remember, after your free trades are used, it's 4-point penalty per trade after that. Is that penalty worth it to try to get more New York and KC players?
Well, here's the thing. You should have already set your lineup up, and both of your free transfers this week should have been used to bring guys in from those teams. But if you didn't do that, maybe you already made the transfers without thinking about it, I would not recommend taking more than an 8-point drop. Because look, you get those 2 players, if they both play 90 minutes, that equates that 8 points, and you're going to get the bonus points. Still not a best case scenario, but worth looking at nonetheless.
All right, that got us to thinking this is going to be a very important week to choose your captain wisely. Of course, you want your captain to be one of these guys playing multiple games. So we will take it to, oh captain, my captain.
Well, my captain this week is Jameson Olave. A tough choice between him and Thierry Henry, but if you look at Henry's history against Sporting Kansas City, it's not great. Just 1 assist in 5 starts, an ejection, a yellow card. He just generally does not have success against that team. Olave, on the other hand, 2 home games, 2 chances, 4 clean sheets. Of course, Henry in second. He has killed the New England Revolution, 2 goals in 2 starts against them. And Aurelien Collin at the end. You look at Kansas City, they've had a bunch of shutouts in a row. Yes, they're on the road, but they've managed to frustrate the Red Bulls. In LA, they haven't had a great luck against them either. Those are my 3 this week.
I have some overlap with Andrew, of course, but I do think it's worth it to put Henry as your captain if you have him on your team. He kills New England. It doesn't matter. Even if he gets 2 or 3 points against Kansas City, I feel a goal or 2 against New England at home is possible. Then I'm going with Dax McCarty. I think McCarty all over the field. He's averaging almost 6 points a game. Double that, 12. Now he's your captain, 24. That's a huge week for you. Finally, I do think Collin is a good pick here. Very possible they frustrate the Red Bulls in a 0-0 draw and go out and do something similar against LA. Remember, this team has not given up a goal in 4 games. The next question coming in from Twitter. He says, should I be dropping Dallas defenders in order to pick up KC or New York players?
Well, look, I would drop anybody else on that end. Dallas has been a points bonanza for players so far. You certainly want Michel in your lineup. George John is pushing forward. Matt Hedges, one of the best defenders in the game. So look elsewhere for that, especially since they're going up against Vancouver this weekend, though. They've scored 4 in their last 4, but they're really struggling offensively.
All right, Tom Warner asks the next question. He says, do you expect anything out of Mike Magee this week? Remember, the LA Galaxy playing Sporting Kansas City on the weekend after Sporting plays on the East Coast on Wednesday.
Yeah, Mike Magee is one that I wouldn't recommend picking up this week. He has that high price tag. He also doesn't have a great history of success against Kansas City. 15 starts, just 2 goals, none in the past few years, no assists. And you look back to last year, the lone meeting between these 2 teams, LA managed only 4 shots, so I would steer clear this week.
All right, another question coming in. He says, what do you expect from Darren Maddox? He's not starting, sad face. Is it time to get rid of him?
Well, I got rid of him a few weeks ago. It was just a little bit too much to carry with his salary, but I think he's going to come back into that lineup. I recommended Herzog last week. I'm not going to do the same this time around. Kenny Miller back from injury. He needs somebody to run off him, and Darren Maddox is that guy.
I'll say this, it's a very fluid situation in Vancouver. Those guys maybe not very good to have on your team until it gets sorted. We're actually going to take that, though, and look at a couple other positions that really have question marks around them. Starting in Columbus, we have Dominic Oduro, Jairo Arrieta. Arrieta has been on the bench the last couple weeks. What do you think happens in this situation?
Well, I think Arrieta is going to come back into the lineup. Dominic Oduro probably a better bet as either an impact sub or at right midfield. But you have to remember, the only time that these three guys, and I'm including Ben Spies in this, have been on the field at the same time was when Eddie Gavin was not in the lineup. Gavin is going to be a shoo-in anytime he's healthy. And I think right now Ben Spies is the better option for Robert Warzia out wide. Whether or not he sticks with that, we won't know. But I think Arrieta wins this positional battle.
All right, I might agree with Wiebe that Spies is the better choice, but I do think there is a good chance you see Oduro push him out of the lineup sometime soon. Pierce and Miller in New York. Who's going to start on the back line for New York? I'll throw in Marcus Holgerson there as well.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be Miller, at least for this week, starting against Sporting Kansas City. You look at Heath Pierce, he started every game but one, that being the last one. I think Petke will go with the hot hand, and I don't think he removes Holgerson from that lineup. In his 5 starts with Olave, they've allowed just 3 goals, so that one is certainly starting to mesh.
All right, remember, there is a chance that Petke could mix it up because they have 2 games this week. That means you probably don't want either of those guys on your roster. Take the sure bet in Olave. This week is Rivalry Week here because in the Extra Time Experts League, Andrew Wiebe, 7th place in the league, taking on the number 2 team, Newborn FC. So we're going at it. We thought we'd give you the chance to vote ahead of the week. Who do you think has the better team? Take a look at our teams. Vote in the comments below who you think is going to win this matchup. Of course, both of our teams are chasing Mark Connolly from ESPN in first place. Got to give him a shout out. He is the only 7-0-0 team in the Extra Time Experts League. That's all we have for the starting lineup this week. We'll go back to our regular time on Thursday next week. Enjoy the weekend of action and good luck.